I guess at this rate, I'll never fucking actually make a channel, right? Because when was the last time I made a fucking daily vlog? Like a month ago or some shit? Well, today is Labor Day, so excuse that cough. Yeah, today's Labor Day. So I get to be at home on a Monday, which has become strange lately because I no longer work at fucking out of sun, which would give me flexibility of just being around because they gave me shitty hours. Now I work out like a fucking straight 6 to 5 with tons of overtime and all that bullshit. So it's time to make money, I guess. Alright, so you see this fucking fiberglass body? It's like Spence oil. My girlfriend was working at this body shop and that motherfucker went out of business or something. And long story short, she got paid with a go-kart for $80 worth. The last $80. I had seen this cart there. It's vintage. I had seen it, and as soon as I had, he's like, "I don't have any money." I told my girl, "Just tell that motherfucker to give me the cart." And surprisingly enough, he said yes, take it. So yeah, I got this fucking fiberglass frame vintage cart for $80. Believe it or not, and it came with an engine that runs, except the carburetor's kind of shitty on it, which is this engine, and this is American made. It's a fucking Tecum Seg made in the USA. I like the graphic on it. It's so vintage and shit. Yeah, the little carburetor's shitty. That's worse. The fucking it has no filter or anything. So I would want to put an aftermarket one. I saw some on eBay for like $13 for a Tecum Seg for that same engine. So I'm probably gonna buy one of those just to get it running really good. However, I don't know if to put it back in the cart because I did something to it. I'll show you right now as we approach. But I'm thinking to put the old school engine in this cart. That engine is just for mock-up purposes. So, yeah. You see, I bought this cart for $20, and I gave it to my nephew, and he's like, he turned 4 or turned 3 or some shit. So, I bought it for $20. The steering shaft needs to be re-welded, but it's 60s, and I need new tires. That wheel's missing a bearing. I mean, but for $20, a fucking go-kart frame, unheard of. And then there's this motherfucker. Yeah, take it in. This just came the other day. Some really fucking cool man sold it to me. That motherfucker drives around in a 61 yellow Cadillac hearse, slammed to the ground, and then he also has like a 49 Chevy fastback, and he hauls around a little tiny coffin in a trailer, and in the back seat of that car he has like life-size skulls, like two full skeletons with clothes on them or some shit. I don't know. Hard to explain, but you'll know when you see them if you ever do. So he sold me this thing. This is a 70s, 80s, I think. Bug. That's the brand. It's actually branded. If anybody knows anything about it, I've been trying to look on the internet, but with not really that much luck to find the exact one. But it has a bug. Um, the pedals work. It's fucking built sick. It has the return springs. Has no brakes on it. It has a fucking already has a live axle, so it's posse track. Those are like old quad tires, man. So it tells me it's from the era where those three-wheelers and shit, you know? You know what I'm saying? And apparently it had an engine and a jack shaft setup. But honestly, I'm thinking 420 Predator. That's what I'm thinking. I'm fucking thinking 420 Predator with a torque converter. But that 600 some Predator fucking V-twin engine, that would be too dope to put that V-twin from Predator. But I don't know. Don't even know what I want to do with it. I'm probably gonna just put a 420 in a torque converter. This, like, all these people want it now, and I'm conflicted. This is why you have a bunch of shit in your yard, because you don't want to sell anything. But I'm conflicted selling it because I kind of like that bitch. Anyway, let's keep moving on. I ran out of gas on the street the other day. What the fuck? I hate these fucking people with their dogs that are loose all the time. They just be fucking shit up. Like the garbage cans and shit. Anyway. Nice dog though. Nice German Shepherd. There it is. I fucking put that Predator in there, bitch. However, this bar, I kind of just like leaned on it a little bit so I can like move down like fucking like 2 inches so I can clear the engine. It barely fits, but yeah. I don't think I want to put that fiberglass body on it, cause now it doesn't fit because of the big ass engine, and it's really fragile, man. It's already missing a piece in the front, like one of these. You see those fucking bars? It has those flaps on the other thing where it connects there. It's missing one of them. Somebody crashed it. Um, the Dodge still fucking not shifting out of first, but my little bro has like the worst luck in the world, like the worst fucking luck in the world. Like if it's gonna be bad and it's gonna happen to him. So far, I mean, for like the last forever, that shit's been happening to him. So, but I started like every other day, and it runs good on everything 5.0. But it's getting along. This was doing the fucking body work here. You see what we met. Now that he filled it in and everything, it's just gonna look like it's part of the fucking hood. And we're gonna put the fenders and stuff from the 1948 International on a chop top fucking. Oh, and right here, that hole we cut is because the fucking emblem for the hood ornament from the International goes there. It should be in there somewhere. It is in there. Whoever had it before, fuck the dashboard up, gosh. Big time. They fucking blended in some diamond plate. I guess in case somebody would be standing on their fucking dashboard so they wouldn't slip. So yeah, last time I made the video, I was trying to fucking set up the engine on this shit, which I already have it. This is what I'm working on today. Working on this shit this morning. I already have it mocked up exactly, hung exactly where the engine goes. It almost looks the same, but that fucking Oldsmobile engine is fucking way shorter than this one. But this fucking frame had some stupid motor mounts. Like, yeah, whoever did this job before, I never like to talk shit, but goddamn, they didn't give a fuck. Let's see if I find the mount. Had some mounts welded here. I don't know if you guys can see in the other video, and that's where the other engine will sit. But they were like fucking little tiny plates, like 4 of them put together, like all like straight botch job. And that shit just pretty much wasn't even attached from the bottom. We found that out as we started trying to remove them, and it wasn't hard to remove them actually. So now, originally, I guess on these cars, the mount bolts here, this part, it bolts onto this, right? That's kind of how it was on the other Caprice, where this engine came from. The problem here is that since this is a custom frame, and they had moved that Oldsmobile engine back really far, this shit lands there. Using the drive shaft from the Caprice because the splines are different, and I kind of like it better sitting there than like fucking two back in the hitting the fucking distributor on the firewall. I don't really dig that. So the distributor, the aftermarket's barely gonna clear with that space, so everything's legit. Now what I have to do, I'm gonna get a plate that bolts onto here with all these holes, a fucking thick ass plate. And I'm gonna make it long enough to where this can bolt onto that plate. And it's just like right on it. And then maybe throw some weld beads on that fucking plate later. Even though my dad's saying not to weld it because it wasn't even welded originally. Just to bolt it because if you ever need to remove whatever you see. Goddamn dogs. What is that? It looks like a fucking cat. Oh look, and then now there's like, where are all these dogs coming from? And usually there's no dogs. Now there's like a Doberman right there, and then that other fucker has a mustache on him. He's a pretty cool looking dog, but you know what? I live here in the outskirts of town, and people are always fucking throwing their dogs away over here. Fucking assholes. But yeah. I have the plate. This guy brought me the plate to oh yeah, look. Look what happened. That's the fucking Galaxy's tank. I'm gonna show you right now how we did a custom tank on the Galaxy the other day. Because my little bro fucked it up. And right now, I'm telling you, the worst shit happens to us. I'll explain to you in a little bit. But yeah, that's the plate. Excuse the tools. I was just looking for some bullshit that we lost, which wasn't even there, and we emptied out the tools or went to pick them up. But yeah, it's the plate. It's the giant ass fucking plate. I'm gonna cut it and make motor mounts and a transmission mount thing that I'm missing also. I'm gonna make it, but it's a pretty fucking thick plate. It's pretty nice. It's gonna work out well. This guy, the owner of the vehicle over here, he brought it for me. Oh man, I'm so happy with my Newport. I rebuilt the carb, and I mean this bitch has been sitting for like 2 years or something because I was on probation and then for for drinking and driving, which I highly dislike now. I've been sober for almost 4 years, going on 4 years, like 3 and some, because, and it's an everyday thing, yeah. But yeah, I was not a good alcoholic. Not that anyone is, but I'm done. It's pretty good though. But yeah, this bitch has been parked because I was on probation. I had to do all my fucking pay my dues. Well, yesterday was Sunday, and me and my girl went out to swap meet and to eat, and she fucking purred all the way down, man. I drove like 60 miles, 70, 80 miles yesterday. Bitch, like nothing. It's crazy. If you look up a video from this car in my old account, like back in the day, and I wonder if I could put a link in the description, you would trip. This car was fucking crashed from the fucking front corner. The interior was wrecked. The interior was redone from this guy that comes from Juarez, Mexico. He comes out here and fucking upholstered it for $900. But I mean, goddamn, looks all original. He couldn't use all original cloth. Some of this seafoam green one was OEM, fucking new old stock, fucking that he had from the actual '60s and shit. So yeah, he got pretty down. The only thing I don't like how he did the dashboard. He just kind of fucking covered it all with that fucking the stupid cloth and shit. But the way the plastics were and everything, and he explained to me, he's like, "Ah, let's just cover it, and when you fucking have all the replacement parts, and you can upholster it right because it's gonna look like shit, even though you put new material." And he was right. So yeah, it looks alright. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you what we had done to the Galaxy. The Galaxy is my bro's daily driver, and that shit fucking drives crazy, man. Like, goddamn. I'm trying to get this fucking thing to open the trunk over there, but it's not gonna fly. Let me see. There it is. Yeah, so this was daily driver, but it's been here for like a fucking 3 weeks already, because, like I'm telling you, bad shit happens to us, dude. There was like this manhole thing sticking out of the ground, and we're going down this road, and since the car so slammed, it hit his 390's oil pan and made this giant hole and like bent the subframe. And then by the time we even got down the street, we even didn't know that it was fucking broken. It didn't feel that bad. Well, it did. It fucking hit hard, but long story short, the fucking engine was destroyed. I was knocking, so we drove it home, all fucking knocking, and we put a F350 86 F350 460 from a dually that this fool from the army sold to us. And he wanted to put it on a fastback, a 68 fastback or some shit like that he had there. But, you know, I guess he gave up, that dude. It's funny because he saw my bro done in the fucking car like a month later, and then he's like, "Did you ever do the engine swap?" And then my bro's like, "Yeah, this is the engine, man. We did this shit on the quick. Well, we had to because it's his daily driver and shit." But yeah, the only thing I had to change was the oil pan and the fucking oil pump and the pickup because let me see if I remember right. This was a front pump. You know, like the hump was in the front for the oil pickup and for a truck, and this one the hump has to be in the back for a car. And also in a 460, the truck pan has the dipstick in the back. If you guys know this, all the Ford guys. So the truck pan has a dipstick in the back, and there's a hole in the pan. However, if you're going to convert it to a car, you're going to have to change the timing cover. Because the fucking dipstick comes out of the timing cover in this 460 for a car engine. So basically, we had to wait on parts. That was all that took us the longest, which gave us time to clean it up. But yeah, we had to change the oil pump, pickup, pan, and the fucking timing cover. And then we had to modify the dipstick. This is actually the original dipstick. And we just cut it and made marks because it was too long and we don't know where the fuck they sell a 460. AutoZone only sells shit for Chevy. Like, if you look at the aftermarket old school parts or all that shit, it's only for Chevy 350s. They're like, whoa, why haven't you put a Chevy 350 in it yet? Anyway, this fucking, I don't know, man. All that month waiting for parts, I read up on everything I had to do. And the first time I cranked it, just to see if it was cranking, you know, like I had already put everything, like, to see if it had spark. It just fucking fired up insanely, and it does every single time, like a fucking maniac. This engine, this fucking setup. Luckily, that truck had that blue grommet, the fucking blue grommet box. If you guys, the Ford guys might know, that blue grommet box is the one they use to fucking update old school cars. So it's like on the cheap MSD conversion, like for electronic spark. But we had to do it because this is what came with the truck. But let me tell you, I wired that shit exactly how the internet told me to on this old school setup with the coil, with the starter cylinder, I mean, and the fucking, yeah, like the resistance. I just followed all the fucking steps they told me, which I just don't clearly remember now. But yeah, I fucking wired that bitch. First turnkey, boom, this fucking bastard fired up. Also, the carburetor on those 80s engines sucks dick because it's made to work with all those stupid ass smog pumps and I know some guy out there's gonna be like, oh, I can make those work, but yeah, you have to fuck with all the internals and like, you know, I know some guy had to drill out the fucking all the jets and shit to be able to make it work. But he had this two barrel from the 390, the original one, but we had bought it this. Well, he bought this new one like when he first got the 390 running, and that fucking new one's, you know, it's badass. So I just put an adapter, and it runs fucking good. Which he wanted a two barrel because gas is crazy on this fucking car, especially if you're like just driving around flooring it. Another cool thing about it is that we couldn't fucking mash up the exhaust. They were totally different, the flanges, and we just left it with no exhaust. It just has the fucking manifolds. Oh yeah, and if somebody says the fucking somebody comments or whatever, I doubt anybody's gonna comment anyway. But the fucking valves don't burn. You fucking assholes. Or warp or whatever. Some assholes are like, oh, you can't run it without exhaust because your valves are gonna warp. That's like believing in unicorns, bro. For real, homie. Like that's like believing in fucking unicorns. Like I was talking to this old white man and he's like, he was cool, you know, and we were talking on the fucking gas station, and he's like, you know, they used to always tell me that, and then I go back and think, what about all those fucking gassers and all the cars in the '60s and the fucking hot rods that just have straight fucking sumi pipes or whatever? How come their valves never burn? And I'm like, yeah, I know, but whatever. This is it. Did it like within a month. Had to cut a little bit of the radiator to like recess it in, so now it's a bitch to take the cap off. Kind of. Yeah, you can do it, but you have to be really fucking meticulous about it. And well, obviously, you guys see that we riveted those fucking panels to cover where the windshield motor was and all the fucking air conditioning shit. Just as simple as possible. We also got a new power steering pump. And then the pulley setup is the one from the truck, so you can see how it barely clears it, but it clears it good, man. I also use a 390, the FE motor mounts. You can use FE motor mounts to fucking mount the 460 in there. Or any of the newer series Ford engines. You just gotta drill a hole differently and like set them up skew or some shit. Yeah, all that shit's on the internet. It's pretty useful if you guys ever fuck with any Fords. And then the other day when he was about to leave, he has his long shank lug nuts. And those are OEM wheels. And if you guys know that the shank lug nuts have this space where if the rim's not wide enough or the actual rim that needs to be there, like those these Supremes or Kragers rockets, that's what he usually runs. But since you know those tires got fucked up because of the alignment, he was gonna run these, the original ones the car came with. But now it's floating between the shank because he needs either washers or other type of lug nuts. And since he was in a hurry that day, already to go to work, we had finished everything. He just left the car. But yeah, we've pretty much worked on this bitch here. Like all this was all fucking dented in, and like I wish I had the fucking a video of it then, because I wasn't trying to record at that point. But all that shit, this was done a good job with the bodywork so far. And he doesn't want to paint it. He just wants to leave the spots like that, how it is. And over here, look, we threw some clear on it just to test it. You can barely see it, but it's a matte clear. It brings all the fucking the weirdness in it. He fucked up all his tires because he was driving it with all the fucking front suspension fucked up. Well, what I was getting to before, I guess all the weight of the new engine, or I don't know what the fuck. Or that fucking... That must sound great in video. Excuse me for that. What was I getting to? Yeah, he fucked up all his tires, so now he's on those fucking 98 Buick rims in the back. It looks stupid because they're all narrow. But obviously that's just because, like I said, he fucked up all his tires. With this whole ordeal of the suspension, we had to change the idler arm, pitman arm, the tie rods. I don't know what the fuck else. Pretty much all the bushings in that suspension, everything, all the fucking bushings, anything, all the rubber, just gone, yo. I can't open the goddamn trunk. Grab something from over here. This dude has it pretty cool, man. That green stripe in the fucking interior, that's where the armrest was, and it was all ripped. So we put some fucking inserts of green material that we had from this older car. This guy likes this change steering wheels. All I think with a change steering wheel is, damn, when you crash, a fucking brain splatter. I like me more the old school original wheel. That's what I like. But chain wheel is better than some other of those fucking aftermarket wheels people put on cars. I know. Sounds so hateful. But, you know. It's funny how this guy told me when he saw this fucking Chrysler, he's like, you should just leave it all original how it is and don't mess with it. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. I'm thinking to me, I'm like, damn, if you knew how fucking modified that shit is. But really subtly, like the fucking antenna window, the antennas is shaved. The side marker lights are shaved. On top of the fucking, and I wouldn't have shaved this, but it had some like on the peak on the corner. They have like some on top of the fender's side marker lights, like little tiny ones, like an old school parade car. But yeah, I didn't like them, so you know, it'd be easier if I had the key. But he has the key at his crib or some shit. I'm gonna set you down real quick. You gotta open it and then tap it with your hand so it can. Yeah. Just FYI for the people out there in the internet, I'm not really showing you how to open this trunk. But if you do decide to come try to open this trunk, he'll shoot you in the leg. Plus, there ain't much really you can take here, but all the time. That's the tank. The foot has a mess right now, but we used the original straps from the tank in the bottom, and then just ran the line. So that's his new gas tank, and that's the air setup. You don't even see the valves or anything. We just kind of tucked it all in. Looks pretty alright. Well, this is exactly what's going on right now. I'll keep you updated to whatever happens next, I guess. I'll be working on this Buick for now. Let's see what happens. Peace.